Morning, coach.
Morning, everybody. Making youngest's packed lunch for school today. Normally has school dinners, but doesn't want school dinners today because
They haven't lost a queue because it's roast dinner day.
the queue's too long.
And you can't have jack and potato, so have nut roast or roast salmon.
Don't want them. Don't want that roast, do we? We have a daddy packed lunch instead. It's freezing outside again. I'm going to Florida tomorrow, but I will miss you guys. Excellent! Packed lunch made. A water. Bar. Like crisps.
I'm drinking yogurt.
Homeless rat. Excuse me, Nolo, we're broadcasting to the universe. So we've got more swings coming at you today. Jamie McLeary, European Tour player, very good amateur career as well. Played for Scotland at every level. We're going to look at his swing. The answer to yesterday's question is
Moment of inertia.
So MOI, the resistance to twisting around an axis. So vertical, horizontal MOI, shafts even have MOI as well. It's much bigger than we're led to understand because it's a complex idea. It's all governed by the RNA, USGA, and the tolerances were actually talked about when they were brought in. I'm not sure what it's measured in, someone will post in the comments down below, but it was set at around 4,000 and something. And then what happened is all the manufacturers kicked up a stink because they had clubs out there that were close over 5,000 in MOI tolerance, so they didn't want to have to recall them in. So the RNA, USGA went out and did their test, taking it up to 6,000, I think now the tolerance is, to see if it made a difference to your golf. And they came back and said they saw no discerning improvement amongst golfers, so you can keep them out there, and we'll set the limit at 6,000. Makes you think, doesn't it, how much it actually is helping you. So today's question is, can you hit a fade or a slice with a closed club face? Hit the comments, hit the subscribe button while you're down there as well. So looking at Jamie's swing, he's obviously a class player, fantastic amateur career, and still as a professional competing at a really high level. Handle starts relatively low, we see, and this is relatively common with golfers who tend to have a little bit of a strong grip. So Jamie definitely has more knuckles showing on his top hand than what would be called a neutral grip. This is very common actually with lots of players we go and see on the European Tour. It's a strong factor, and Jamie obviously has a strong game. Now the biggest thing for me that I would look at trying to think about with someone like Jamie is this position here, where we see the face not really syncing up with the amount of wrist angles that we get on the way down because of the excessive grip that we see at the start. Jamie does tend to have balls missing left, he talks about, which obviously is a worry, and is always a worry with better players. When we were lucky enough to film with Andy Sullivan, he used to sling everything, big hooks, he said, worked with his coach on actually trying to find a fade. He was a little kind of pat fade with us nearly every shot. Lots of good players move that way because they feel they can control the ball a bit better. Then we also see Jamie having a relatively high handle compared to his start position. If we pull that back so you can see the big angle change, that's him trying to correct or deal with the face to path from that last parallel we see where the face is definitely turning against the path that club looks like it's travelling on. And then we also see a very unrotated impact because he can't rotate. He's trying everything he can to make the face not point too far left. So I would really look towards thinking about grip with Jamie, and then thinking a little bit about some different downswing ideas to lower the handle and get the rotation changing. Now this won't guarantee that he makes him a better player. With a player like this, what I would like to do is skill test with his skills, his ability to control lie, his ability to control a different grip, and then in turn his ability to hit target, which he can already do, remember, with a different ideal technique. Sometimes you do it and you can see they're going to be a worse player, and then you go back to what they've got and try to do the best from there.
Morning, coach.
How are your frosty balls this morning?
Flick it on here, look.
Oh, and it heats your buns. A warm poo. We are going to Florida. I missed it. Where have you gone there? So point one is going to be hold and then set up with how you've got the handle. So it's this desire we need to get rid of for Jamie, isn't it? It's from here, if he just does his normal turn, the face is going to be so close to the path, everything will go left. So he chooses to not rotate his body and stand the handle up to try and correct the face to the path. What I want you to practice is a different hold and setup and see how functional or not you are from there. So let's see half a knuckle to 1 knuckle less on the left hand. If you're seeing 4, Jamie, see 3. If you're seeing 3, see 2.5. Just calm that left hand down. And then from there, I want you to stand feeling like, say with an iron, that the club is flat on the ground, where you must be starting with it quite toed up. If you think about how your clubs are lied as well, probably got them made quite upright because of that high delivery. That's encouraging the high delivery, so that's something you might need to think about as well. So from the different hold and different stance, I want you just to hit shots, literally just hit the ball. See how far right they go, see how unfunctional you are. You don't know until you test with a player of this skill set, someone who's this good might be able to just find target from here. They might start opening up differently, they might start delivering the club differently, knowing that the grip is delivering a different face to path. Once you've hit your shots, and probably you'll send them a long way right, what I then want you to do with the good hold or the different hold and the more upright address, I want you on a downswing to rotate your body as hard as you can, turning to try and face that target, trying to get that club to spin out to the ball a lot more, even feel like it's spinning to the left. No, I don't mean rotate this way, I mean rotate this way. Different hold, different address, turning that body. And let's see if that finds target. Let's answer your questions.
This is CJ from Pennsylvania.
How you doing?
Just here getting a little practice indoors. Had a question about trail shoulder rotation and high handle.
Okay.
I'm someone that deals with early extension, high handle, impact. I had a question about what you and Trackman Maestro and Andrew Rice are always talking about with the right shoulder, for me, trail rotation, which gets the hand path out. I'm a little confused how to get from here down to impact without having that high handle. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Augusta. Thanks.
You need to get some body rotation in to spin that club out at the bottom. Let me just get a club. So basically, if you're bringing the club down and the hands go out and the shaft drops down, what we then need to do is get the club spinning out to the ball, which will allow you to set it more at this angle rather than trying to pull this handle up and the club and coming down, which obviously gives you your high handle that you're seeing. So it's body rotations. Once you've got that momentum of the shaft flattening down with the hands going slightly out, club laying back from this trail shoulder rotation, you then need to rotate, get your hips and shoulders turning. That's then going to spin the club out to the ball. It will really help you with your delivery. Obviously the extra rotation will take a little bit away from you trying to thrust your hips in that early extension, and the lower handle, hips and shoulders, get them rotating. It'll really help.
Hey bruh.
Hey bruh.
Just wondering, my Ping G30 irons have progressive length shafts, which seem to be a lot longer than my old clubs. Is this a bad thing or is this okay? Thanks bruh. Go Lockie Army.
Lockie Army. So longer length shafts is not a problem in any irons as long as you can hit the middle of the back. So I've done some tests and seen some tests where the length of the shaft can have an effect on impact location, not for everyone. So the longer you make the club, basically for some golfers, the harder it gets for them to find the centre of the club or to find a consistent strike pattern. If that is the case, then yes, it isn't good. If you feel that you can strike them as well as a shorter iron and you don't lose distance, then just stick with them, it's not a problem. It's always a trade-off between the length of the shaft and then the club head speed stroke distance you want to hit the ball. For lots of players, those things are very interlocked and you can make them hit it further, but then they lose control of the face, the path, strike because of the length of the club, or vice versa. You gain accuracy but lose distance if you make it shorter. It's always a trade-off. Going to Florida! Better get packing. Need another pair of pants. A drill I use with students to give them the feel of rotating the face back to somewhere near the path. I get them to hold their left arm with their right hand. So simply just hold their left arm, make their backswing feeling no club needed, and then from here feel like the right arm is holding the left arm across your chest on a downswing. So you start opening your body up while holding some resistance with the right hand. So stretching this left arm more across your chest on the feeling on the way down. And then as you get down near kind of waist height with your hand, simply rotate your body to get your hand pointing somewhere towards where the target would be. So from here, use your body rotation to get a feeling of getting your hand back to pointing somewhere where your target would be. It gives you a great feeling of how you stretch your left arm more on the way down, get your body opening to try and get your face, in this instance, back of my left hand, get somewhere near where the path will be, hence then also the target. You can do this indoors, you can do it on the range. It really does give you a good feeling of how your rotations can control the club face rather than you having to use those wrist angles so aggressively because that twist you put in there from your grip. There we go, interesting swing today, wasn't it? Remember to subscribe and follow as always. Send your video questions and your swings. Now the daily vlogs over the next few days will be a bit disrupted because obviously I'm travelling through time zones. But they still will post, we'll still get the same amount. They might just pop up at some funny times until I get A Wi-Fi signal, and B, kind of over my jet lag a bit. See you soon. We are going to Florida.